These are base 10 blocks. They are manipulative, used enough to show basic concepts. This includes number sense, place value, addition, subtraction, and counting. The blocks are an effective tool because they can be rearranged in diverse ways to represent different numbers and patterns. Base 10 blocks are typically made of a solid material like plastic or wood, and they come in varied sizes: units, 10 rods, and 100 blocks. Base 10 blocks began showing up in the classrooms in 1989. The activity we have chosen is the part-whole method. In this activity, you start with one number in each of the two small sections that each represent a part. Then you join them together in the whole section to find your sum. If the problem was 116 plus 78, the student would place 116 base 10 blocks in one of the smaller squares. You make 116 out of one 100 block, one 10 rod, and 6 units. Then the student would place 78 base 10 blocks in the remaining smaller square. You make 78 out of 7 10 rods and 8 units. Next, the students bring all the blocks down into the larger square. If necessary, you must exchange 10 units for 1 rod or 10 rods for one 100 block.
Okay. I have 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190. I have 10 units, so I need to exchange these 10 units for a 10 rod. So I'm going to have to count again. I have 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 191, 192, 193, and 194.
So the student counts the blocks to determine the sum of the base 10 blocks. I want you to add 64 plus 87 using base 10 blocks. What step do you take first?
I would put 64 base 10 blocks in my part here.
Great, can you show me how you do that?
Okay, first I take 6 10 rods and 4 units.
Great, now can you tell me what you should do next?
Put 87 base 10 blocks in this other part.
That's correct. Please do that and tell me what blocks you choose.
Choose 8 10 rods and 7 units.
Good job. If you wanted to add the two smaller squares together, what would you do next?
I'd pull them down to the bottom.
So you bring the box from each boxes down to the large box, right?
Yes. So, and then I would have my 10 rods together and all my units together.
That sounds right. Now what do you do next?
I'm going to count them. So I'd start with my 10 rods. It's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. But I can't have more than 100 because this is my 10th place. So I will get rid of 100 and do a 100 block. So that's 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150. I can't have 10 in my ones place, so I change that for another 10 rod, and I have 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, and 151.
Sounds good. Is that the final answer?
Yes, 151.
Perfect. I'm going to give you a problem to solve on your own using the base 10 blocks. Solve 102 plus 79.
Okay, so 100, 102, 79. We'll bring them down.
You're doing good. Now find the answer.
All right, okay. 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, 179, 180. Trade these 10 for a 10 rod. So 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 181.
Can you explain to me why you traded the 10 units for one rod?
Because you can't have any more than 9 units in your ones place, and since this 10 rod is equal to 10 units, I can trade the 10 units for a 10 rod and put it in my 10th place.
Great job, you got the right answer.